what it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy Q, and welcome back to YouTube, Fog Dwellers. Look, I'm excited. Before I even get into this, I need y'all to know that like I am happy that my boy Wraith has finally got some love from the devs, and he's like actually a viable killer now. But we've got to have a very fair and honest conversation. And like, I think we can all agree that the Wraith has like quickly been moved from like the mid card of most tier lists to basically being hoisted up to the top. Obviously, I'm not going to compare him to like the likes of Spirit, Nurse, Blight. He's not quite there, but I don't really know if I would put anybody other than those three above him, quite honestly. But like, we got to talk about the Wraiths Power. And no, I'm not just simply talking about his invis or the fact that he now has true invis where he can't be seen from long distance, because honestly, that makes a lot of sense and is really cool. But what I'm talking about is the burst of speed and like the coup de grace type lunge he gets every time he comes out of cloak. Every time. And like, there's no cooldown on the Wraith's ability to get his Stretch Armstrong type lunge compared to basically any other killer on the list. Let's think about this, for example. Now, when the demo dog lunges and misses, they're like most similar to our invisible friend here, where they can basically instantly wind up for another shred attack. But where the demo dog is different is really in the fact that the incredible speed that Wraith has in order to close the gap before they're able to Superman that and the survivor down. You know what I'm saying? What the demo dog has to do is they recover from their power, they wind up their shred, and they're actually decreased in their speed. So they don't really have an ability to close the gap the same way that the Wraith does by simply hitting his bell, going back into cloak, and getting ready for another Superman lunge. Like, even the Nurse, who completely breaks all of the rules of DBD, has a cooldown after blinking a couple times. And when they're not blinking, they're actually slower than the average survivor. Whereas our Wraith friend has a base speed of 4.6 meters a second, and that's not even counting his 6 meter per second cloak speed movement or his 6.9 giggity meters per second post uncloak boost. Even the Spirit, who's like widely been talked about across the community lately because of her ability to basically have no counterplay, especially when she runs Strider, she has to wait 15 seconds after phase walking before she gets her boost back from her 7 meters per second walking power while she's in her phase walk. Like, the Wraith's ability to quickly traverse the map and still get an insane lunge is actually unmatched by absolutely anyone when you look at the killer list. Like, you could argue that the Blight can still do the same thing, although he does have a 10-second fatigue status after consuming all 5 charges, but he doesn't have the control and the precision to be able to lunge around the tightest of loops comparatively. And again, even the Blight doesn't have the ability to hold on to his power while still moving at almost twice the space speed of a survivor until he uses his power. So in case you haven't figured it out, what I'm talking about particularly is the Wraith's ability to uncloak, hit you with his gigantic lunge, recloak, move to the next tile, and then lather, rinse, and repeat. And I need y'all to understand something. I'm not saying that we completely scrap the buff that he got recently and return him back to his old self. And instead of like your typical content creator who suggests change but doesn't actually give any resolution, I just think we need to fall somewhere in between. Honestly, I think if he just had like a 20-second cooldown before he could get his next uncloak lunge would suffice. Again, we do have to take into account that he already has the ability to close the distance that he gets from a survivor after his hit by simply cloaking and moving at almost 2 times the speed of a base survivor. And in all reality, the biggest reason I wanted to talk about it is I really feel like it sets a lot of killers up for failure by leaning on the crutch of his unlimited and unrestricted use of his lunge as well. And I'm definitely not the most adept of killers. Anyone who's been through the stream over on Twitch, link for that's going to be down in the description below, knows that I'm generally a survivor main myself. We have a lot of fun over on our channel memeing and having fun versus chasing the dub every game. But I know a lot of people have been coming through talking not only here, but in a couple of groups that I'm in, that they're just getting tired of seeing Wraith so often. And I think the best state of the game is for there to be a good balance of killers used at basically all the levels, because there is a significant benefit of using one killer over the other. And even when you do start seeing a lot of like Nurse and Blight players, there's quite a bit of a learning curve to be able to use their power correctly. Whereas Wraith, you just simply ring your bell, move super fast, ring your bell, move even faster, and then hit the player that you're chasing. But I don't know. Why don't you guys let me know in the comments below? What do you think? Does the Wraith need to be wrangled back in just a little bit from his most recent buff? Or is he like absolutely perfect the way he is? And of course, if you made it this far and you really enjoy the content, do me a huge favor, leave a like and a comment, even if it's just to say what's up, because that's going to help us out with that good old YouTube algorithm and potentially get our content in front of more people. And of course, if you hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on, we can catch you right back here for the next video. All right? Until next time, though, for real, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love harder. It's your boy Q, signing out.
If you ain't show something, you just don't wanna be me, but you will never